G'day, I'm Tim Altman. This is my friend of mine, Rodney Gange. This is our first interview in preparation for the Molokai to Oahu, Maui Jim Molokai to Oahu World Surfski Championships this year. And I'm interviewing Rodney because he's doing the race for the first time. So we thought we'd have a bit of a chat about why and how long he's been paddling and everything. So it's about, 2 weeks away from the race, so we're all getting pretty excited.
Yep.
Rodney Gange, his name. Rodney, how long have you been paddling?
About 10 years.
About 10 years.
Yeah, I took it up because I'm a boilermaker and I had a bit of a dodgy back, and it's built my core strength up, and I haven't been to a chiropractor for any lower back issues for about 5 years now. And that was mainly on flat water, and then I got into the ocean and absolutely love it. I used to do a lot of surfing, but I gave that away some years ago because there was just too many people. It was, relaxation. You had to hassle for a wave, and I thought, play this. So I took up scuba diving, and now I'm into the ocean skis and absolutely loving it.
Great. So I've known you for a while, and I knew you from the river for a long time, doing a lot of paddling up at Geelong Canoe Club.
Yep.
Where Rodney's lives in Geelong, and I'm in Torquay in Victoria in Australia, which is down the bottom for anyone who doesn't know that.
The cold end.
The cold end, but we get really good swell and good waves. So, for example, Bells Beach is just down the road from us, and we often paddle from Torquay up to Bells and back and check the surf out and crack some waves. We do our downwinders from a place called Anglesey back to Torquay, and that goes past Bells Beach. So I'd known Rodney mostly from the river, but he's been in the ocean the last couple of years and getting into it.
Loving it.
Okay. So what's your reason for doing the Molokai race?
It's a bucket list race. You hear about everybody talk about the Molokai. There's a lot of other races, but everyone talks about the Molokai. And I thought, right, I want to do that. And it's also out in the open ocean, and hopefully get some big ocean swells that we don't get around this coast here. I think they get them over in Western Australia for the Doctor race, but certainly not down this end of Victoria.
Oh, we do get the swells actually, but we don't get because our coast doesn't face directly. The waves don't hit at the beaches. But when we're doing our downwinders, I've found that they're pretty comparable.
Okay.
So far, maybe I haven't.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, okay. How would you describe your preparation?
Not as good as I'd like, but that's just been the circumstances. It's the last 16 weeks. It's been a fairly intensive program, thanks to yourself, Tim, for looking after nutrition and also the fitness regime. Doing steady 3 and 4 hour paddles each week, plus a couple of downwinders. Normally over a weekend, 1.5 to 2 hours at different ratings, be it easy or fairly hard, and then also doing pyramid training as well, be it on the river or out in the ocean, and that's my fitness has really started to improve the last 5 weeks, and hopefully it's good enough to be able to enjoy the race. I know I'm not going to win it. Hopefully I won't come last, but I'm just going to go out there and enjoy it. Enjoy the experience.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Preparation, slow to get going, or steady to get going. But the last few weeks it's been great, and I think you'll go over there pretty prepared. And the interesting thing is, I don't think anyone ever gets the ideal preparation for any event. So, if you can get it 80% right, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, I think I'll be 80%.
Yeah, good. What would you say are your ideal conditions in terms of wind and swell and all that sort of stuff for the race?
You probably want about 20 knots, maybe a bit more, but certainly around the 15 to 20. It'd be nice, and a nice ground swell would be good too. Maybe a couple of metres. Wouldn't want it too big because that can also endanger your support boat crews if you have the conditions too wild. Even though it's good fun, you've got to think about safety, and it's a long way between the islands with no real help for anybody else if something goes wrong.
Yep, definitely. What sort of ski will you be using?
I'll be using a fin swordfish, which which I found to be really good. My ability is not up for going any faster, any of the narrower skis, but I should be able to do the event quite comfortably in that and enjoy it and not be worried about tipping out of it.
Great. Excellent. Well, Rodney's part of a contingent of about 4 people from our area coming up to do the race this year, and I've certainly, having done it a couple of times and having a fantastic time and a great experience. I've certainly talked it up, and a couple of other people from down this way have certainly talked it up. So there's a fair bit of excitement about it. So yeah, we're getting pretty excited now. A week to go before we leave, and a couple of weeks before the race.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thanks, Rodney.
Thank you, Tim.
Cheers.